Hey, hey, hey. Time for another Out of This World story from rSpace. Love triangles and screaming matches, just another day in paradise. Today on rSpace, let's see who comes out unscathed and who's left picking up the pieces. Up first, to participate or not to participate, that is the question. Am I the a-hole for refusing a threesome with my girlfriend's best friend? My girlfriend and her best friend have been friends for almost their entire adult lives, and they've had threesomes with previous partners on both their sides. Now, I didn't know this until recently, as my girlfriend mentioned this like a week or so before she asked me to, if I wanted. Now, this may be where I messed up, but my immediate answer was, F no, I'm never doing that. I'm very monogamous, and I'll be honest, the idea of being shared or sharing simply grosses me out. I don't think it's morally wrong or anything, but it's just not for me. Apparently, my girlfriend told her best friend, and now the best friend is offended. My girlfriend says I should apologize to her, but I don't think I did anything wrong here. Maybe I could have used better words, but it's not like the best friend heard me. There's no consensus spot on Am I the A-hole, but top comments were not the a-hole. Update post, March 11th, 2024. 2 days later. Hello everyone. I figured I should post an update after all the advice you all gave me. So to start off, I had a talk with my girlfriend and cleared some things up. I told her I wasn't sorry for my decision or my reaction, but I told her it had nothing to do with her friend. I told her it didn't matter whom she suggested, it would have been a no. Something I didn't think about that you all mentioned is what would happen if her friend asked for a threesome with her boyfriend. The friend is single right now, so it's not a current issue. I asked my girlfriend what would happen if her friend asked though. She said she thought it'd be cool as the previous boyfriends were, but after seeing my reaction, she knows I wouldn't approve. She then asked me why I didn't want a threesome with two women. I told her I don't like the idea of having sex with anyone but her. I asked if she needed to have threesomes to be satisfied. She tried to dodge the question and said, I mean, they're just fun, you know, and it's become a habit by now. I told her it was a yes or no question. She still wouldn't give me a straight answer. I decided that our sexual needs are just too different and broke up with her. I'm sad that out of everything that could cause a breakup, this was it. Me not wanting to have sex with someone other than my girlfriend. Also, to answer some of the comments, no, the friend wasn't ugly. Here's some relevant comments. First up, when telling a story like this, people will want to know what your girlfriend's reaction was when you broke up with her. The OP replied, she was upset and confused. She said that makes no sense for a guy to turn down sex with two girls, and even less sense to break up over it. More from the OP. I'm a demisexual, I think that's the term. I only feel sexually attracted to people I have an emotional connection with. Do you avoid relationships with other women altogether then? No. See, even if I become attracted to another woman, that doesn't mean I'm gonna pursue anything. I mean, non-demis still get attracted to strangers at the bar or something. That doesn't mean they're gonna cheat on their spouse. You're not the a-hole here at all, OP. Who knew the saying no to a threesome could lead to a breakup? But hey, as they say, different strokes for different folks. And if those strokes involve sticking to one partner at a time, then more power to you, OP. Here's to hoping your next relationship comes with a lot less threesomes and a lot more understanding. Kudos to you, OP, for showing us all that sometimes it's better to be alone than to compromise your values. Who needs love when you've got principles, right? What do you think? Was OP right to break up with her girlfriend? Up next, OP grapples with the consequence of infidelity and the fallout of confessing to a failing marriage. I, 38 female, had an affair with my coworker, 44 male. First off, I apologize if I'm doing this wrong. First time poster. I think I did the flare thing right. Anyway, me, 38 female, and my spouse, 42 male, have been married for 10 years. Unfortunately, our sex life hasn't been very good for a while now. I've tried talking to address the lack of affection, but there has been no improvement. This caused a lot of issues. We get along, but I felt unsatisfied and even resentful. Basic affection almost non-existent, and if we do have sex, it's just about him getting off. I have a coworker, 44 male, who started lightly flirting last year. We would talk a bit in passing. Talking turned into flirting, but eventually we crossed the line in January. From there, it was an on and off affair. Obviously, this wasn't the right thing to do. I told the coworker it was over last week and am now working on fixing my marriage, reconciling and moving forward. It's a terrifying feeling, but necessary. I guess I just wanted to let this out. I didn't want to make this too long, but I'll answer whatever questions are asked. And of course, there's a question. It goes like this. Have you given your spouse agency? Is he aware you've cheated? Relationship problems are 50-50, but affairs are not. That's 100% on you and you alone. A dead bedroom is a reason to leave if talking about it does not change anything. There's no justified excuse for cheating. First of all, stop making excuses and just try to act nonchalant about it. What you're doing is wrecking someone's life. If you're having intimacy problems, you have to talk to your spouse about it and work it out between the two of you. Don't bring in a third who will scratch your itch. Update. My 38 female confession couldn't have gone any worse. So to recap, I, 38 female, had an affair with my coworker, 44 male, after having a dead bedroom with my husband, 42 male. This had been going on for about 4 years. Felt like roommates. No affection, rarely sex, and it was just about him getting off. I cried, begged for him to come to counseling, and tried fixing it any way I could. He brushed it off. Then I started an affair that's been going on throughout this year. No, I'm not excusing what I've done, just giving context to the road traveled. So I decided to tell my husband. I accepted the fact that my marriage won't improve and that I just have false hope, and it would be best to let him know what I've done and accept that divorce is most likely the next step. I wrote 2 letters, one that would be very detailed and one that would skim over details. I planned on letting him choose which one he wanted, as suggested by others. This didn't go as planned at all. I told him I needed to talk to him, that it was important. He said okay, in a minute. He was tinkering with his motorcycle. Didn't want to push because I was really nervous. But when he was done, he was in the living room watching TV. I approached and told him we needed to talk. He said, "What do you want? I'm watching TV." I told him it's important. He said, "Can it wait?" I walked off. An hour goes by and I go downstairs and he's gone. I call him and ask him where he was. He said he went to his friend's house. I said, "Why would you just leave when I said we needed to talk?" He said, "Geez, relax, we can talk later." I hung up and started packing. I've been brushed off so many times during our marriage and I'm done with it. Called my best friend who knew everything and had even tried talking to him for me a few times about the neglect I felt. She said if I needed to, I could move in with her. So that was now the plan. Husband gets back while I'm still packing and asks what I'm doing. I said I'm leaving. He said, "What the hell is your problem?" This is when I lost it. Again, not saying this is okay, but this shows the amount of anger and resentment that I have. I didn't realize just how much resentment I had built up. I don't yell, but I began yelling at the top of my voice. "I'm effing done. I'm done being your effing roommate. I'm done begging you to show affection. I'm done begging to talk to you. I'm done trying to fix things by myself." "Geez, you're so dramatic. Heaven forbid I can relax for a bit." "All you do is relax. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not bugging you anymore." "God, what is it?" "Don't worry about it. You never worried about it. Have laid next to you crying my eyes out, begging for you to give a dang. Begging you to just hold me, kiss me, hug me, hell, F me consistently. I've begged you to come to counseling or do anything that would show I'm not in this alone." "Oh, here we go. Boo-hoo. If you're so unhappy, how about you find someone else to screw around with?" "I have." "What?" "Since January." "Are you serious?" "Oh, now you care? Now that someone else has been doing what you were supposed to be doing, now you care? Nah, boo-hoo, right?" The screaming match continued, and I showed him the letters that I had wrote, but just said bluntly what I had been doing. Again, I never yelled, but I lost it. This was years of frustration triggered by being brushed off yet again. My best friend showed up. We were still arguing. Grabbed my bags and left. I was still going off in the car the entire ride. When we got to her place, I fell to my knees and started screaming, "This isn't what I wanted," over and over. Just completely broke. Because this really isn't what I wanted. I was so beyond happy when we got married. We were so in love. I don't know why it changed, and at this point it didn't matter. It was dead, and I helped kill it. My hope died right then, too. People say, "Why don't you just leave?" It was hope, as silly as you may think it is. It was hope that things would change. Even when you know it's unrealistic, you make yourself believe that maybe things can get back to where they were. I always felt guilty, but also always felt neglected, brushed aside and pushed away. This made me angrier than I realized. My best friend just held me and tried to calm me down. I napped, was so exhausted emotionally, felt sick and nervous about the argument, but there's no coming back from that. Went back this morning to grab the rest of my stuff. He made some sly comments which I ignored. Just told him I would be staying with my friend permanently, but will continue paying my half of the bills until things are settled. Would be unfair to leave him to pay everything. He said, "You're probably gonna be staying with some guy." I just responded with, "Whatever, bye." The reality is that I should have left a long time ago. Instead, I stayed and became something I never wanted to be. But again, saying just leave is so easy until it's you in that situation. This was supposed to be forever, but nope. So yeah, that's my update. I apologize if this is long or unclear or anything. Also apologize if this is triggering, but again, just goes to show how bad things got. This is my reality. And now for some community feedback. First up, I get how leaving rather than cheating is easier. Most cheating is just the easier path if we are being honest with ourselves, said than done, though millions of people do it every year. But it would be easier to be sympathetic if your affair partner wasn't married. Even separated, he is still married. You got yourself a real crap show on your hands now, and pretty much everyone involved is crappy or has done crappy things. But we are all of us responsible for our actions, and you choosing to have an affair with a married man, separated or not, is a serious lapse in judgment and character. Hope you choose your path forward with more consideration. I also wish you luck, because at the very least, now that the crap is exposed, you can all move towards being better people. Next comment. Not saying what you did was right, but telling your significant other you need to talk and them blowing you off means they don't care about you. You're both better off without one another. Try to move on and let him do the same. One more comment. Here's my problem. I know you said it was easier said than done, but the same confrontation you had with your confession is the same confrontation you should have had before you cheated. Easier said than done is a cop-out. You just did it, and now you have the cheater label for the rest of your life, and he will let everyone know you left him for another man. If he finds out who your married affair partner is, he will tell his wife as well, and now you just possibly ended 2 marriages. So what's easier? Confronting him, telling him to change or divorce, and have an extramarital affair with lies and effing another woman's husband? Sorry, I get he was an a-hole, but what did she do to you exactly? The classic blame game. Because clearly the best way to handle a failing marriage is to point fingers and assign fault like it's a game of hot potato. What's introspection and self-awareness when you can just blame each other for everything that's gone wrong? Who knew that till death do us part actually meant till someone else comes along? You certainly stirred up a hornet's nest of ethical dilemmas. On one hand, you were clearly feeling neglected and unfulfilled in your marriage, and communication with your spouse seemed to have hit a dead end. It's understandable that you reached a breaking point and felt the need to confront your partner about the state of your relationship. However, choosing to have an affair as a solution to marital problems is generally not considered the right course of action. What do you make of this? And thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you next time.